Hello children, welcome to at another video for grade 10 that's on spherical lens. So when I started this lesson, I told you the lesson is mainly divided into two, that is reflection and refraction. Reflection we have studied in connected to mirror, spherical mirror, and refraction is connected to lens. So we are going to start off with this lens. So before I start off, I would like to tell you few things. In case of a mirror, we have studied about what is a mirror, two types of mirror, that is your convex mirror, concave mirror, terminologies related to these mirrors, correct? And then we have learned the rules for the image formation. We have learned two for the image formation, that's ray diagram for the image formation, Cartesian sign convention, magnifications, and the application of these lenses, mirror formula, and things like that, right? So what we are going to do for lens is also the same thing, that is we are going to study all these concepts also for lens. So at this point of time, there is a possibility that there is going to be a lot of confusion, because what we've studied in mirror is all, is always like, you have a lot of things, that is you have ray diagrams, you have table, you have a lot of things to study there itself. Now the same thing comes for lens also. So what happens, chances of getting confused increases, right? So what you have to do is you have to first make your mirror concept very clear. When I say mirror concept, it is basically the ray diagrams and the table what I spoke to you the last day when I taught you the image formation by mirror. Okay, because the same kind of table is coming for lens also. Then what happens when you start studying two together, you tend to do what has to be done for mirror for lens, and what you have to do for lens you do it for mirror. So there's a possibility, and this is a little of confusing chapter, but do not get panic. If it clear with the concept, I think nothing to worry. Now that you have enough time in hand, you have the content in your hand, because you have ray diagrams, it's clearly given in your textbook also. So practice, 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 no other choice children. So do as much as possible, draw the ray diagram, draw the table. So at least if you keep on doing it, it will be very strong in your brain. So then there's no possibility of getting confused. Is that clear? Okay, so now start with a lens. First we'll understand what is a lens. It's a transparent optical medium bounded by two surfaces, at least one being spherical. So if you look at this picture, the first picture you have two spherical surfaces. The second picture you have one plane, one spherical, 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 one plane, spherical, both spherical. So this here, all these pictures, if you say, it's a combination of two surfaces. Okay, so this is what is a lens. That is, it's a transparent optical medium wherein you will have two surface. Of these two surface, one has to be spherical, the other one can either be a spherical or a plane one. So this is called as a lens. Is that clear? So lens are of two types, simple lens and compound lens. Simple lens is the same lens. Here if you see in the picture, double convex lens, that is two convex lens together, double convex, plano convex, plane and a curved surface, two curved surface converging meniscus. You have two concave, double concave, plano concave and diverging meniscus. All these are the simple lenses, which is nothing but it's a optical medium with two bonded surface, one being spherical, the other one plane or spherical. Compound lens is nothing but it's combination of simple lens. When the simple lens combine together, they form something called as a compound lens. Example, the lenses which is used in your cameras, because today you get a very high-tech camera which has got a lot of features. So here you have combination of lenses. So that's called as a compound lens. Your microscope. All these are the examples of compound lens. In this chapter, we are going to mainly study about two lenses. Okay, that is your biconvex and biconcave lens. The first picture is of a convex lens. If you can see this picture, you have this is a convex surface, this is another convex surface. It's a combination of two spherical convex surface, and this is called as biconvex lens. The second picture is of a biconcave lens. So this whole chapter, like your a concave mirror and a convex mirror. We are going to study about convex lens and a concave lens. Biconvex and biconvex, we normally don't use the word biconvex and concave. We generally use as a convex lens and concave lens, which means it's biconcave and biconvex. Is that clear? So these are the two lenses which is going to be our target throughout this lesson. Is that clear? Okay. Now these two pictures should be very clear to you. As it is in case of a concave mirror and convex mirror, these two pictures should be very clear. The first picture is of a convex lens. The second one is of a concave lens. Is that clear? Okay. Now let's understand the terminologies related to the lens. We had few terminologies related to mirrors, right? If you can recall, it was pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature, principal axis. Same, you have few terms which is related to the lens. So let's understand what are the terms. The first is your optical center. Optical center is nothing but the center of the lens. That is, if you can see this O, this is the center. This one O. This is the center of the spherical surface. That is, center of a spherical mirror is called as a pole, but center of a lens is called as a optical center. It is denoted by O. Second, center of curvature. Here, if you take in case of a lens, you have two centers because it is bounded by two surfaces, right? One is this surface, the one is this surface. This surface will have a center here and this surface will have a center here. So you have two centers. Same way here also you have one center here, one center here. So what happens? You have two centers of curvature, C1 and C2. So it is denoted by C1 and C2. Same way here also you have C1 and 2. I don't know whether this is clear. This is C2 children and this is C1. Okay. Same way you will have it for your concave lens also. Okay. Then radius of curvature. Here you have radii of curvature. That is, you have two radius because you have two spherical surface. Spherical surface means it has two centers. When it has two centers, it means two radii of curvature. That is one radii of curvature for this particular this will be the radii of curvature. That is from center to the center of the sphere to the center of the lens. Same way for this will be the radius. So together you have two radii of curvature which is denoted by R1 and R2. Then principal axis, it is the line which passes through the center of curvature and the optical center. So this is in case of a convex lens, this is in case of a concave lens. Is that clear? Okay. Then you have principal focus which we are going to study. Before that, if you can see this C, this say C1 and C2 is also called as 2f1 and 2f2. That is, this is f1, this is the focus which we are going to study. So if this is f1, this is because we have studied a relation between the radius of curvature and the principal focus, right? 2f is equal to r. That is, this is r, right? From here till this is r. Okay. So we know the relation, that is f is nothing, 2f is equal to r. So this is also can be written as 2f1, correct? So in some pictures, maybe in textbook or some, instead of C, you can see 2f1 and here you can see 2f2. So do not get confused. That's again, either we write it as C or you write it as 2f1. Okay. Some pictures you write it as 2f1, in some pictures you write it as C. It both means the same. Is that clear? Okay. This is the terminologies. That is your optical center, center of the lens, center of curvature, two centers for two surfaces, two radii for two surfaces, R1 and R2, principal axis which passes through the center, and center of curvature is also called as 2f1 and 2f2. That is, one is 2f1, one other one is 2f2. Is that clear? So now let's understand. Principal axis is the line which passes through the center of curvature and your optical center. Now let's understand principal focus. Principal focus, if you can see this picture you see here, this is a principal focus in case of a convex lens. This is a principal focus in case of a concave lens. So if you compare this with a mirror, you can understand it. In case of a mirror, concave mirror is a converging mirror, right? But in case of a lens, convex lens is a converging lens. Okay. Similarly, in case of a mirror, the convex mirror was a diverging mirror, right? but in case of a lens, concave lens is a diverging lens. So concave mirror and convex lens is a pair. Similarly, the convex mirror and concave lens is a pair. Okay, it's just opposite to mirror. So there concave was converging, here convex is converging. There convex is diverging, here concave is diverging. So this is how the picture of a principal focus looks like. You can see all the rays which is meeting at a point on the principal axis, which is given by principal focus, correct? And it's all meeting to a point, and this is happening due to refraction, children. Here in case of a concave lens, you have all getting diverged. It's been manipulated to meet at this point, and this is called the principal axis of a concave lens. Is that clear? So here if you see, the principal focus lies here. In this case, the principal focus lies here. This is the principal focus. This picture should be very clear. Recall the pictures for the focus, principal focus for mirrors, concave mirror and convex mirror. So imagine how it looks like. This is in case of your convex lens and concave lens. So one more thing what I would like to tell you here is, like, in case of a mirror, first we have studied about concave, then we have moved to convex. Here what we are going to do is, first we are going to study about convex, because I said no, concave mirror and convex lens are friends. It is connected to one another. So lens, we are going to study convex lens first and then move to concave lens. So this is the principal focus. Is that clear? Okay, let's move on. Now the major part of the chapter wherein we are going to study it about the image formation by these lenses also. In case of a mirror also, we have given different position for the object, and we have formed the image by applying the rules for image formation. That also we are going to do here. So here, to draw the ray diagram, you should know the rules for the image formation. So this is somewhat similar to your mirror, but because there are two centers and two focal lengths involved, you have little changes. The first rule, this is a convex, this is a concave lens. The first rule states that a ray of light incident on the lens parallel to the principal axis after refraction passes through the second principal focus. That is, you have a ray which is parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, it passes through second principal focus, that is your F2. Is that clear? In case of a concave, what happens? This is the ray, okay? This is getting diverged, so it appears to pass through F1, right? Because it's happening on the other side. It's a diverging lens. So this you should be very clear. The first rule. So first rule, line parallel to the principal axis after refraction passes through the second principal focus. That is in case of a convex lens. And in case of a concave lens, what happens is the ray gets diverged. So you are extrapolating, and that line appears to pass through the first principal focus, F1. Is that clear? The second rule. The second rule states that a ray which is passing through the first principal focus, if you see here, first principal focus, after refraction goes parallel to the principal axis, same like a mirror. Here also if you see, the ray which from here it is appearing to pass through F1, right? So then what happens? It goes parallel to the principal axis. Here it will be through F2, right? Because here it is F1 parallel. Here it comes till here, it appears to pass through F2. It will be parallel to the principal axis. Rule 2. Rule 3, it is whenever a light ray passes through the optical center, it moves without any refraction, that is undeviated. After refraction, it goes undeviated. So it retraces the path when it passes through the optical center. These are the three rules. Hope the rules are very clear. See, children, whenever you learn these rules also, I want you to practice with the diagram. But otherwise, it will be a confusing one, right? The first rule, ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction passes through F2, second principal focus. This is in case of a convex. Case of a concave, what happens? It is getting refracted, deviated. then what happens, it appears to pass through F1, the first principal focus. Second rule, when it passes through the first principal focus, it goes parallel to the principal axis. Here if you say it appears to pass through F2, then it goes parallel to the principal axis. Third one, when it passes through the optical center, it goes undeviated. These are the three rules for image formation by spherical lens. So now let's learn the image formation by convex lens. Here again the same thing, table what I've told in case of a mirror, it applies the same. So same order, try to practice and relate to mirror. Here you have, in case of a convex lens, I said convex lens you're going to have 6 position. There we had 6 position for a concave mirror, right? Here we have 6 different positions for a convex lens. So if you look at this picture, first it is at infinity, then it is beyond 2f1, right? Then at 2f1, then what happens, it becomes between 2f1 and f1 here, right? Then it comes to f1, then it goes between f1 and optical center, right here. Is that clear? So this is how it looks like at infinity, then beyond 2f1, then at 2f1, between 2f and 2f1, at f1, and between f1 and o. Okay, in case of mirror also I've told you a same strategy you can follow here also. The last one you can leave as such. Here what happens, this is just the opposite of this. See, infinity comes here, and the only difference here is this f1 changes to f2. That's the thing that you have to remember. So do not get confused, children. You have time, practice it, practice the table, understand to write the table very, very carefully with relation or with in relation with the diagram. So do it simultaneously. So practice it. You have your own strategy to by heart this table. So what I told you, you can do that also if you have your own strategy to remember, because each one has different ideas of remembering things. So use that strategy and do it. Here if you see, the position starts from infinity. As it is coming closer and closer to the lens, what happens is, if you look at this image also, it just happens the opposite. What in case of mirror, same. See, at infinity, so at you are starting with infinity and beyond 2f1, then f1, then between 2f1 and f1, then f1, then f1 to o. So that 6 position. First you have to identify the 6 position. First you have to identify the 6 positions. So write it in an order. Okay, leave the last point of it, and then just opposite of this you are going to write it here. And extremely small, small, same as the object, enlarge and highly enlarge. This same strategy what we have done for mirror. Okay, practice it. I want you all to look at this, or you can take the help of the textbook. I have already taught you how to draw the ray diagram in case of a mirror, and we have also learned the rules. So what you have to do is practice these ray diagrams and this table in case of a convex lens. Okay, is that clear? So then you have it for your concave lens. Concave lens, as that of a convex mirror, you have only 2 different positions, that is at infinity, and then you have your between optical center and your f1. So this is only the 2 positions that you have, and this is the diagram that you have got. So in case of infinity you have it as f1, and in case of when the object is at infinity, you have the image formed at f1, and when the object is between optical center and 2f1, you have an image formed between f1 and o. So that's the only thing that you have got. So this, what you have to do is, the picture is very, very clearly given in your picture, in your textbook, and you've already studied mirror, right? So the same concept, practice the ray diagram for lens. Is that clear? But what you have to do is do it one by one, understand and then do it, so then it becomes very clear. So what you have to do is practice it. If you find any difficulties, please do not hesitate to contact me personally. Okay, make an effort to study this very clearly. It's same like mirror. Then it becomes very clear. As my earlier suggestion goes, make mirror part clear and then move on to the lens. So meanwhile, if you have any problem, don't worry. You can just call me or you can just WhatsApp me if you have any confusion. But the possibility of confusion is very less. Everything is very clearly given in your textbook. It's all your practice that plays a role here. Practice it so that it becomes very clear. Is that clear? So with this we are going to stop this particular video. So let's have a recap wherein we have studied what is lens, two different types of lens, terminologies related to lens, okay, then rules, and then the image formation by lens. Okay, this lens, I've told you the strategy, practice it, that's all. Okay, so then we are going to study about this Cartesian sign convention, the lens formula, and few numericals we are going to solve. That definitely I will take to my next video. So until I communicate to you all in my next video, I want all of you to take care of yourself and bye.